All right, so here is our demo program. I couldn't fit all of this on one slide comfortably, but we can see, whoopsie-doo, that it's very short, right? I've got my imports. I create my inputs, where each row is an input. I create my labels, where each row is an output or label or desired behavior, right? I create my model, and notice that it's so very easy that I am creating a bigger model than we used in NumPy, and Keras is just figuring all of that out, right? It's making the dimensions for the layers line up, it's constructing and initializing the weight matrices, it's doing everything for us. All we have to do is tell it the sizes of the layers that we want. And again, it's also doing bias for us. It's including the biases without us having to do anything. I'm also telling it the activations. Notice that I'm using tan-H activation every time. We'll talk about some other ones later, right? I'm compiling it. We talked about the stochastic gradient descent algorithm. Here is where SGD enters. Notice that I've turned on a thing called momentum, right? By specifying one option we don't even need to worry about. And here's where I'm telling it which loss I want it to use. Notice also that I'm not even specifying these as functions or callables or objects or anything. I'm just giving them as names. And Keras is reaching in and retrieving implementations for these common functions, right? It's making it very easy on me. Then I am fitting my network, and then I am getting a test print, right, to see what it actually did. And I am actually going to go down there and make that test print include a few more items, right? And for giggles, I want to include an item we didn't train on just to see what we get, right? So 0.5 doesn't make sense for a binary rule. Let's see what our network does, shan't we? And if we run this, all right, so what happened? Notice that it kind of paused for a second while it imported everything. Scroll up. When we got to the TensorFlow import, it pooped all of this on us. This is information about the platform, right? It is telling me, notably, that my CPU supports instructions that it didn't use, that it could have used, right? It is telling me where it's going to run this code and optimize it for. It then printed out a little status bar at every epoch, where every epoch, right? I keep pronouncing it more, so this word is, I think it's supposed to be pronounced epoch. I keep saying it kind of like it were epic, right? Each epoch is a pass through the data set, right? So each epoch is moving through all four of these, right? Or epoch. I don't know off the top of my head. It's late. I'm tired. So every epoch, we get a little status bar which shoots by too fast because there's only 4 things in there. Oh, hello, kitty. And a loss, right? That is the loss. Oh, right, and then we didn't see what it did because they didn't print this. So let's just go ahead and call. Because again, one of the nice things about IPython is that our session and all of its objects are still resident. So I can just copy that, paste it, see what we get. So, for 0, we got close to 0. For the 2 1-on rules, we got close to 1. That's what we're supposed to get. And then for the half-on rule, right, which is not a rule, that doesn't make sense. 0.5 is not like true or false. We got partly on, 0.8, right? And again, so here's a point to bear in mind. Just because we only trained our network on these specific inputs, it is still a function that is defined everywhere, right? And a little food for thought is that our network's behavior, far from the points where we've trained it, might not be what we expect. But yeah, there is our really simple first TensorFlow network.